What is going on, everyone? Let's talk about Nevada. You know that state that has Las Vegas in it? The state is normally an afterthought for anyone not from Nevada. Most people just think Las Vegas is the entire state or something. It's really weird. It's like nobody took a geography class from kindergarten till college. It's really strange. Anyway, I've run into more than a few people that thought Sin City was the actual state's nickname. That's actually the Silver State. And no, Las Vegas is not the state capital. That's Carson City, just south of Reno. Nevada is one of those places you either love or you hate. There doesn't seem to be much middle there. It is a state of 3 million residents, and they're very defensive about this state. I learned that from a video I made about not moving to Las Vegas. Oh man, people climbed up my butt with a microscope. It was uncomfortable. Nevada has a lot going for it, and it shows. The United Van Line's annual National Movers Study ranked Nevada in the top 10 most moved to states from 2010 to 2018. Only in 2019 they slipped out of the top 10 to like number 12 or something. People are moving there because it is a great state, and they want to move there. It's not like it's court-ordered or anything, but like all states, they have their problems. This video lists some of the problems you might want to be aware of before you make that move. Like I always say, if you want to see all the good things about Nevada, contact a real estate agent or go to the location's tourism website. It's nothing but rainbows and sunshine there. Here, you're going to get some things that you might want to know about. I'm not saying it's a bad state, I'm just telling you some things you might want to know. All right, let's see what the Silver State is all about. Number 10, no rain. This state doesn't see much rain. Nevada has fewer than 10 inches of rain a year. The national average is 28 inches. Here in Oregon, we see about 43. So 10 inches is dry, like your mouth when your wife finds out you have a Tinder account dry. Even if you hate rain, at some point while living in Nevada, you're going to think, holy crap, I don't even remember the last time it rained. In a recent video, I talked about how important gardening is to a lot of people, and they won't move places where the gardening isn't good. Nevada's one of those places. Unless, of course, you're looking to grow some award-winning cacti, then yeah, by all means, head to the Vegas area. To be fair, though, it isn't the case in the Reno part of the state. They get some weather, both snow and rain. You can grow things there. About 80% of the state, though, is bone dry. Number 9, healthcare. The quality of healthcare in Nevada is located in the bottom 20% of all the U.S. states. Now, it's not the hospitals and the doctors that suck. It's the amount of hospitals and doctors they have for the size of the state. Nevada is a large, rural, western state. Other than in the southern tip with the Las Vegas metro area and the Reno-Carson area, this is like the American outback, and its outback residents have to deal with a lot of logistical hurdles just to get healthcare. Some places in Nevada are 3 to 4 hours away from a hospital or a doctor, which is always great news when you're having a heart attack, right? In the main cities, the healthcare is decent, but in some of these dust bucket towns, you may get a medicine man or an out-of-work welder named Rudy to take out your wisdom teeth. So basically, it's the places out in the boondocks that are bringing the healthcare numbers down in Nevada. Number 8, it sucks for women. If you're a woman, a new study by WalletHub suggests that you may not want to look for that new life in the Silver State. Your first problem is that desert sun baking your skin till you look 65 on your 30th birthday. It is either that or you start buying sunblock by the gallon at Costco as soon as you move there. Here in the Pacific Northwest, you could buy a small 12-ounce thing of sunblock when you're 30 and leave a half-full bottle to your kids when you pass away 50 years later. It's like a family heirloom or something like that. Here's some sad stats for the ladies living in Nevada. Nevada ranks 47th in gender pay gap, 50th in the unemployment rate for women, 50th in female uninsured rate, and 48th for women's preventative health care. Woo! Great numbers. You know, at least they're consistent. I'll give them that. So if you're a woman and you moved to Nevada, my suggestion is run for office and help change this place. Number 7, stereotypes. Having Las Vegas in Nevada, you have to deal with a bunch of stereotypes. If you move to any place in Nevada, it could be out in the sticks, and someone actually makes the connection that Nevada is actually where Las Vegas is, they will assume you're moving for 3 reasons. Number 1, you have a gambling problem. Number 2, you have a drinking problem. Number 3, you have, well, how do I say this without getting demonetized? You have a habit that involves paying for, shall we say, companionship that comes with a timer. Okay, you get what I mean. It is almost like people think that those are the only 3 things that go on in Nevada. 4 things if you count buffets, which are probably gone now because of COVID-19. You could be going to Nevada to be a social worker, open up a church, be a dog groomer. People are instantly going to think that you're really going there to be closer to your addictions. There is so much more to this state and its people than Las Vegas. Before you move there, do yourself a favor. Read up on the state. It's got some interesting history. I mean, exclude Las Vegas from that research. It's a big part of the state, and it'll always be there for you, but learn that there's something outside of Sin City before you move. Number 6, not a good place to be married. Besides the ease of getting married in Nevada, looks like going the other direction is easy as well. The divorce rate is 50% higher than the national average in Nevada. Again, most of this happening around Las Vegas and Reno. The rate is actually so high in America's playground, it drags the rest of the state down. This is just sad. Being married by a 3-foot-tall Elvis impersonator, gone to waste. Now, this doesn't always happen that way. I have a friend that married a girl the same weekend he was introduced to her at another friend's wedding in Vegas. They knew each other a little bit over 48 hours, and they got married at one of those Vegas chapels. The last time I talked to them, about 3 years ago, they had been married 12 years and everything looked fine. Number 5, bad place to retire. Nevada was ranked as the second worst place to retire in the country in 2019. The only state that is worse is Alaska. And in Alaska, you live in constant fear of being eaten by a bear, hit a moose on the highway, and going to the dentist, apparently. Nevada should be one of the best places for the retirement crowd. It's just not. It is warm, it has buffets, high-stakes bingo, and a buttload of 55 and older communities. But Nevada is dropping the ball in a bunch of categories. The two main ones are healthcare options, like we talked about before, and violent crime. They have a high violent crime rate, and it's not just in Vegas and Reno, it's everywhere in Vegas. I would think a state would bend over backwards for retirees. I mean, fix any problem that's keeping them away from your state. That would be like number one priority. They bring money into the state, and they don't take up jobs that could be going to younger people. So, less unemployment. This makes sense to me. I'm sure there's a lot more that goes into it. That's just how I've always looked at it. Retirees are just bringing money in and not really taking up any jobs that, affect your unemployment rate. Number 4, it's not for families. According to the Las Vegas Sun and Wallet Hub, Nevada sucks as a place to raise a family. Besides the other stats about divorce, healthcare, and crime, etc., Nevada also had the third highest childcare costs in the nation. That's always good to hear when you're already struggling. The whole state just seems like a really bad idea for families. But I'm sure there's some great places in the state to raise a family. Stop typing. Thing is this, there aren't that many. But there is a little good news on this one. In the last 10 years, they've stayed between 45th and 48th place out of 50 states. In 2020, they springboarded into 40th place. Progress, Nevada, I applaud you. And to all of you who can't help leaving this type comment when I say something like this, California is not the worst. I always get that all the time. I bet California's the worst. No, they're not. They're actually 17th place. Number 3, education. If you have kids and you care about their education, Nevada may be a state you scratch off your list of places to relocate, buy a home, rent a place, talk to a realtor, whatever. Scratch it off your list. Besides the comical fact that most of the schools in the Las Vegas area have the architecture that closely resembles prison, Nevada as a whole comes in as one of the worst states when it comes to schools. Now about that prison thing, I did read one thing, and I'm not sure if it was real or not, that the same people that designed all the schools also designed all the prisons in the state, which would totally make sense, but I don't know if that's real or not. I tried to look it up, couldn't really find anything on it. Now, I've read several reports on the education system in Nevada. In a few of them, they were ranked 49th place, and in others, they were 45th or 46th. It just depends on what stats they were looking at. Either way, this spells out sucks with a capital X. And for those of you who went to Nevada schools, sucks isn't spelt with an X. In 2019, they had a 9% dropout rate. That's the second lowest in the nation. You know who they beat? Louisiana. Come on, Nevada? What the hell? They have a bunch of other near bottom of the barrel stats about test scores and things like that. In general, Nevada's not a great place for your kids to get educated. Number 2, there's almost nothing here. Nevada is a big barren wasteland of boredom, depression, and heat. You have Vegas, the Reno area, and an Air Force base that the tinfoil hat crowd thinks is storing green men. By the way, who else knew that raid on Area 51 was going to be a giant nothing burger? After that, you have long stretches of bad road trips and nothing to see. I've driven across the state a few times, twice from Salt Lake to Reno through the northern section of the state, and 3 times from Los Angeles, hit Vegas, then on to St. George and Zion National Park. And I can tell you, wherever you are going that goes through Nevada, take a train, a plane, and never an automobile. After Vegas, Lake Mead maybe, Reno, and Lake Tahoe, I guess, this place looks like Mars, and you'll have an overwhelming urge to get out of the car and drop off supplies for Matt Damon. If you're a dirt and rock enthusiast, this place is for you. But for the rest of us that haven't been dropped on our heads, it is a barren landscape that sucks unless you have an ATV or a dirt bike. And number 1, the people. Now, when I say the people, I'm not really referring to the actual residents of Nevada. I'm talking about the millions of people that visit the state every single year. Something about this state makes people lose common sense and any self-control they may have had before they got there. I've seen some people do some of the stupidest stuff in Reno and Vegas. One girl I know worked at a sports bar while she was going to school. She said every businessman from Middle America is under the assumption that any girl working in Vegas is also a working girl in Vegas, if you know what I mean. As far as the residents go, the ones I know, I love, and they're great people. The people who whined and cried in my top 10 reasons not to move to Vegas video a couple years back, they're a special breed. And I'm sure some of them will show up in the comment section of this video. They are insanely proud and defensive of this state. Probably a little too defensive. But yeah, the worst thing about Nevada is the tourists. They're just rough, and I've been one of them, and I've done some stupid stuff when I was in my 20s in Vegas and Reno. But yeah, every time I go there, I'm just amazed at human beings and how they get to where they are. It's strange. Anyway. Alright, so that's today's video. I hope you guys liked it. Hope you got some information out of it. Nevada is a great state with great people, so don't get me wrong. I'm just pointing out some things you should know before you decide to move there. Don't forget all the links below. Give the video a big thumbs up. If you liked it, tell me what you thought. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.